Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the third and the fourth Doctor stories. The Golden Age, when Doctor Who was just fantastic. It is. All classic Doctor Who is. Anyhow, this is The Invasion of Time from 1978. Now, this is the season finale of the 15th season. And this is the sixth story. And it's a six-parter, yes. So there's quite a lot to talk about. Now, previously we have had Underworld, and the next story will be the Reboss operation, which is part of the Key to Time series. Yes. So the next fourth Doctor story will be part of that. Right. Now, this was transmitted between the 4th of February and the 11th of March, 1978. It's written by a name that they use for various reasons called David Agnew, which means it's normally the script writers and the producers hiding because they're not. It's best that they do that. They don't need to put their names out there for BBC reasons and what have you. So, in fact, it is Graham Williams and Anthony Reed, people behind it. Now, this is directed by Gerald Blake, and he only has done one other Doctor Who story, and that was the Abominable Snowman, 1967, second Doctor story, brilliant story. Sadly, I think there's only one left in the archives of that story. But there we are. Poor second Doctor. Yeah, he suffered a lot. And after this, the director didn't do any more Doctor Who. It's just a career doing TV series and TV films. Then the script editor is Anthony Reed. And of course, the producer is Graham Williams. Now, locations is there's a bit of an interesting background for both parts to this, really, because in the background there's industrial action going on. This also had an effect on the script as well, for various reasons. But the recording, what they normally do in the studio, was done at St. Anne's Hospital in Redhill, which was a big location for them. I think it was a disused hospital, and the BBC were able to use that. Then we've also got another location that we have used before, which is British Oxygen at Hammersmith. And of course, Doctor Who wouldn't be the same without Beachfields Quarry in Red Hill, Surrey. You've got to have the quarry, haven't you? It's got to be there. Yes, it has. So, yeah, we've got that. So, let's get into all the cast. We've got, obviously, Tom Baker as the fourth Doctor. And we've got Louise Jameson, who plays Leela. And this, sadly, is her last story. Yes, it's the farewell story. Oh, dear. Yeah, and from what I can see, I think she might have, been persuaded to have done another season. Definitely. She's sort of got certain regrets about it, but she'd made her mind up, and it was too late. I think she'd already got another job lined up, so she had to leave. So we've also got John Leeson playing the voice of K9. So that's the sort of regular of this particular season. Then we've got John Arnott, who plays Chancellor Borusa. Now, he had a big career going back to 1948. Most notable film that stands out that he was involved as an actor was 1961 Whistle Down the Wind. Great British film, that, Hayley Mills. Also, he was in a Hammer film, Hysteria, from 1965, which is great. You know I love Hammer connections. And then just lots of TV series and TV films that he's been involved in all over his career. Then we've got Milton Johns, who plays Castellan Kellner. Milton Johns, well, he was previously in The Enemy of the World, 1967 to 68 story. Patrick Troughton, brilliant. You can't go wrong there, can you? He was also in The Android Invasion, 1975, a Fourth Doctor story. And as an actor, he was also in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, 1980. He was in that. Yeah. I mean, it was only a small role, but he's in it. Yeah, you get that. Again, he's a very familiar face in terms of TV series, TV films, and also theatre. Yeah, amazing career there. Then we've got Chris Tranchell, who plays Andred. Now, Doctor Who, he was in Massacre of St. Bartholomew's Eve, 1966, which is a First Doctor story. Also, he was in The Faceless Ones, 1967, another brilliant Patrick Troughton story, which sadly has episodes missing as well. There we are. He was in a lot of TV series and TV films. So there we are. That's Chris Tranchell. Then we've got Charles Morgan, who plays Gold Usher. Now, films that just popped out to me were Hell is a City, 1960. I know that one. Stanley Baker stars in that one. Good British crime thriller. And then also he was in Cash on Demand, 1961, which is another great British film. Excellent film. And then The Au Pair Girls, 1972, British sex comedy. They were doing loads in that early 70s period. And then just lots of TV series and TV films. Now, I don't normally do this, but an actress called Hilary Ryan played Rodan, and she's in this quite a lot. I think she's quite good, but I can't find anything about her. I've looked all over on the research. There's nothing there, which I don't understand. I really don't. So I think she's quite good. You certainly notice her as a character. But there we are. Right. So, what is this story about? What is the climax to the 15th season story? It's 6-parter about. Well, now, the Doctor returns to Gallifrey. He's in Gallifrey. Always something interesting and special going on. And of course, as he does tend to be often, he's behaving in another erratic fashion. very strange behaviour he is, and he's not. He's clearly not very nice. He's been really awful, and Leela sees all this, and she doesn't. I don't think understand why he's like this. He's behaving in an awful way. Anyhow, he ends up betraying the Time Lords. Yes, there's a shock there because he allows these other aliens called Vardons to invade Gallifrey. He lets them in, and all these other Time Lords, particularly important members of the High Council, are banished. Yes, they're banished into the wasteland, which they're not going to survive. You know, there's the luxury of the dome that the Time Lords are all in, and then there's the wasteland outside. It's an interesting another part of the story of the Time Lords. There's lots, as we know, more over years we've learned about the Time Lords. But yeah, this is an interesting part. But of course, the twist in all this is that the Vardans are being controlled by another very familiar enemy of the Doctor and aliens, the Sontarans. So they're returning. Oh, yeah, wow. So the story suddenly thinks, wow, this is going to be a great climax and story. And it is. I think it is. There are limitations and problems with this story. The 6 parts always brings that out. But I don't think it's too bad. We've seen a lot more difficulties with 6-part stories, I think, than this. And this does have them. But I think it works all right. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Because the Doctor, Tom Baker, is in absolute brilliant form in this. Now, some argued that he perhaps was taking the comedy a bit further, pushing, which he does in the Graham Williams era, and certainly does that. But there's some great scenes. It's just Tom Baker is so comfortable. And I think the real criticism that people have pointed out of this story twofold, really. That the Vardans are a bit of a letdown. But it's Doctor Who with the special effects. I think it's because they were humanoid behind the cover. Like, clearly, they didn't even attempt to put the rubber suits and create some other alien. They just sort of humanoids. And that's a bit of a letdown, maybe. But the major one is, I have to say, the departure of Leela. It's kind of sad because, I've enjoyed Leela. I think she's been a great companion. And they concoct this romance, which we've hardly seen any indication of. And she stays behind. Wow. It's such a letdown. And the way the Doctor says goodbye, it's just, the emotion is not there. It's kind of sad. Whereas previously we've had that emotion. Okay, this is classic Doctor Who, and I like it in this way. But the actors are able to express emotion. Look at John Pertwee when Joe left, and I think even all of the classic Doctors do show emotion, and there is, Tom Baker does it in his certain way, but you feel she deserved better. I feel I feel that, but there we are. I think a lot of other people did, but as a story, this is a fantastic story. It really is, and it's another ending, a season ender. But well, there we are. It's great. So it was released on VHS in 2000, on DVD 2008, and in March this year, 2024, it was part of the Doctor Who The Collection of the season 15. So, I'll just show you before I go. I know you've seen this down there, but there it is. But this is a 2-disc set. This is a great DVD. The extras are on this one other disc. Absolutely. We got nice discs. And of course, as usual, the nice little pamphlet we get with it. Fantastic. But the documentaries and the extras, I really enjoyed them. They're really good. But of course, I'll let you go. There it is, look. Of course, it's the last one on here. All these extras are on there, plus more. The way it's done on Blu-ray, and fantastic, brilliant. Oh, you can't beat it. I love these sets. Look at that. Isn't that great? Fantastic. Yes. And that's it. So, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and we'll let you know when I put out these videos. You can see all my past Doctor Who reviews. Just have a look in the playlist. But I do a lot more. I do all sorts of reviewing films. You see all that. And TV shows, as I say. Also, I do some music and all collecting nostalgic themes and all that kind of stuff. And if you like this particular video, please give this video a like, because then it gets it out onto YouTube and then other people might enjoy it, or perhaps they won't. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. I'll answer all your comments. I really do. And it costs note. By heck. You can't say fairer than that. So, all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.